Hey everybody, welcome to this special edition of PreMarket Prep, calling it PreMarket Prep at the close. It is 3:40 on Monday afternoon. We are 20 minutes or so away. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, folks. 20 minutes away from the close here on the first of what will surely be a very, very volatile week on Wall Street. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin. We wanted to do this just to sort of through what is happening heading into the close here and talk us through what's happened in the markets throughout the day. It's been a very interesting day as we expected. A lot of news flow. The news flow is not slowing down. And we've seen more high-profile cases today, developments as far as curfews in effect in some states, closings in businesses across the nation, and the market has been extremely, extremely volatile. I want to start off, Joel. Let's just talk about let's just talk through the day here. So we weren't sure on pre-market prep this morning how the market would open, how far down the SPY would be, because there's no limit down mechanism for the SPY overnight. How far down would the SPY be with the futures that limit down? And just, I'll pull up a chart and just why don't you walk us through like what happened at the open?
Yeah, Spencer. First of all, I just want to thank for whoever's joining us here and is going to listen to us on replay. And I just want to start out by saying, we're getting some feedback, regarding the show and regarding Dennis and stuff. And I don't know, for the people, Dennis and I have known each other for a really long time, and he would. He talks about this situation. He analyzes this situation, and there's nothing that he would rather like than to be wrong. As much as he's right as a trader and the amount of money that he has accumulated, he would love to be wrong on this. And he's just trying to give out the best information, his observations from being a really smart guy, besides a trader. So I want you all to take that into consideration when you're, giving us any feedback. As far as the market goes, you hit the limit, you hit the second limit, and we didn't hit the third limit yet. So that would have been 13%. So we had the lower open, and then we were close to getting down to that 13%. But the bulls, whoever they are out there, stepped up. And we had one hell of a rally. You could see the rally going up. And, as much as it's chaos, as much as it's news, you still have to, there's still levels. The market is, of course, the news can obliterate the levels. But the first early morning bump took us up to Thursday's close. And then we had a pullback. And then we had the ridiculous another 100-point rally there to 26.3150. What I want to remind people, and I'm not trying to call a bottom and I'm not trying to call a top, is that if you look at where the market is from the perspective of last Thursday, okay, we still, with a little over 15 minutes to close, maybe might close above that level. It would take one hell of a rally, but that level on the upside, and I discussed this with a couple of buddy of mine, the traders, and Brent on the news desk. All the chaos last Thursday, we entered the market at 24.56. That spaces the June contract, right? So if you take out the ridiculous rally on Friday and you take the carnage out from today and you look at it, as we speak, we're about 40 handles from that area, which for me is, I don't want to call it a win.
It's a victory, a moral victory.
Yeah. So, and who knows? I mean, we could finish on the lows of the session, and that could all be, that could all be for naught. But just taking everything and like trying to throw out the emotion and trying, to place blame on people and just to look at things from a perspective of where the market is and where it's last Thursday, the market is telling you we have a fighting chance. All right. I'm not telling you to get long. I'm not telling you to buy stocks. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just saying it. I'm giving it from a perspective of the markets and what I was hoping to see today. And You're like, here we are. We'll be on to the close with you. So anything can happen. And another thing that you have to keep in mind is the market is going to bottom ahead of the news flow. And it doesn't look like the news flow is getting any better anytime soon. We had the press conference, a lot of different things that can happen. But, overall, right now, 20, if we close above 24.56 or even in that area, let's just give it an area because you can't call things right on the nose. And we have 15 minutes left of trading here. Of course, the SPOOs will stay open until 4:15, and that will be the mark for you SPOOs traders. It will halt trading for 15 minutes, and then it will trade from 4:30 to 5. And I'll be keeping a close eye on that price action as well. We'll get a break for an hour, and then we will reopen Tuesday session at 6 p.m. The SPOOs will trade continuously. The stocks will stay open until 8 p.m. So guys like Dennis that are just looking at pure arbitrage opportunities, they will try and keep the market in check. But after 8 o'clock, it's the wild, wild west, folks, because the stocks are shut down. There's not arbs out there like Dennis that are trying to keep the market in line. So from 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern until 4 a.m. Eastern time, it's the Wild West. And just be prepared for that. And then we will look for, signs in tomorrow and, learning things from Dennis, keeping an eye on the spiders, which don't have limits. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can look at. But just from an overall broad market perspective, we were just almost kissed 2,400, and now we're back up at 2,432. So absolutely can go anywhere from here. But just trying to give you a perspective. And someone's asking about Peloton, huh? And let's talk about some stocks, right? That was we got some complaints that we didn't talk about stocks enough. So
Yeah, we
this
did.
is, yeah. And could you read that disclaimer again? This is not investment advice. This is just seat of the pants.
A little bit.
Look at that. Okay, you got a nice green bar in Peloton here, right? I don't have to tell you the story, right? Because people are buying Pelotons. I already have my Peloton, and I'm going to be using it quite a bit over the next few months. So, very, very, it's a nice green candle here. Uh, is this a long-term buy? Is this a long-term investment? Who the hell knows? It's up $3. You got to think about how long people are going to be able to go to stores to be able to purchase these, but it's something that's moving opposite of Planet Fitness. How's Planet Fitness doing today? So if you want to look at two stocks and you want to keep them side by side, look at Planet Fitness and Peloton. And the symbols are pretty close. You can see what they're doing to Planet Fitness because people are not going to be going to the gym for a few months. And Peloton, if they can get them delivered, then people are going to be using them. So it's up today. The high, doesn't mean a lot. The whole low doesn't mean a lot. Just see, where that closing price is here in Peloton. And Spencer, you had some other stocks that you.
I did, and before I bring them up, I just wanted to talk about this concept. We talk about how the pre-market is the real money comes in at the open, and today was a lesson in that, right? Because we were down. I don't know what's the most we were down this morning, Joel. Was it 11%, 12%
Ah,
in the S&P
man.
futures? It
Man.
was like 11.5%
I
from.
think I saw 12%. I saw it
Okay,
pretty close.
maybe you did. Maybe you did.
Yeah.
Look, this is the
Pretty
chart of the SPY.
goddamn close, Spencer. It was
Right,
close.
right. This is the chart of the SPY right now. Look what happened at the open. I mean, the SPY, for lack of a better word, just ripped higher. Right, we ripped higher until we
On the
halted
third,
there.
yeah, on the third open, I believe
Right,
it
right,
was.
right, right. I should mention.
Right.
I should mention that we halted. Right, we halted, but after the halts, the resumption was when 950, somewhere around that 945, 950. We spent the majority of the morning going higher. So this is what can happen when the real money comes in, right? And so
Exactly.
we're always mindful of that. And going back to your point about stocks that are higher, a lot of the stocks that we've talked about, these packaged food companies, Campbell's. I saw that was up today. I saw Kroger was up today. What else?
ConAgra is up today.
ConAgra is, I think it might be the leader today in the S&P 500. I think it might be
Yep,
the best
up
performing stock
11%.
in the
Uh,
index.
I mean, you go to the stores, people are buying canned food. How long is this going to persist? How long are people going to be doing this? I know I personally have helped to stock out, over the last few days, buying canned goods and whatnot. But let's take a look at the chart here of ConAgra. CAG for you all on your platforms at home.
What time frame do you want? I'm on a weekly right now. What is an appropriate time frame to look at any stock chart right now?
Well, for this one, I mean, I think it's okay to go with a daily. To go with a daily here because you made a new low for the move and then you came back above it. So that's a good thing. So you'll be keeping an eye on the range from yesterday and or today for tomorrow's trading. So I'm just looking at this and it's had some pretty good volatility. If you're looking to trade this, I see a bunch of highs under $29, just under 29. We actually had 897, 883, 866, 864. So that's a potential target area for it if you're playing it from the long side. I think the longer it takes to get back over 29, then you have a chance to get back some of the profits today. And then today's low, the panic low of the move. Well, this is a really interesting one, folks. You know how we like to talk about double bottoms here. 22.83. That was your low on March 16th, March 13th. Today's low, 22.88. No guarantee that there's going to be buyers if it gets back down to that area. But there you go. If you were keeping an eye on your daily levels here, maybe you got a trade off. Also, look at whatever the high, whatever the low is today. Look at that on mid-range for the session, and that will tell you whether or not this rally is for real. As quickly as we ripped up towards 2440, we are now knocking on the door of 2400. Unfortunately have to report here. We are trading at 2,400 and a quarter. We're trading down 10.5%. Your low, your reaction low from this morning came in at 2350. So let's hope we don't see that level here in the final 8 minutes or in the after hours session. Newmont Mining, gold, big turnaround in gold today. It is now $50 above its low. No safe haven in that. Newmont, they got this thing down to $33, and now we are back up at 41.40. So probably a little bit of an oversold condition there. Tiny Trader 88 is mentioning Costco. Costco, I think, is holding in there once again. Packed lines. Serving people. I think also what you want to look at, and as I made references to, last Thursday's low, look where your stocks are relative to the low of the move. If they didn't make a new low of the move today, that doesn't mean they're not going to make it tomorrow, but perhaps they're showing some kind of relative strength basis. So that's to take a look at Costco. Why isn't Ford breaking down? Asked Batch Bean. Well, Batch Bean, because Ford's been breaking down for like the last
Decade.
yeah, Ford's even long. Yeah, let's see here. So everything is being thrown into question here. Are people gonna, is the first thing they're gonna do when we return to normalcy? Now I know what President Trump said there. He's, July or August. I mean, that is certainly not news that you want to hear. It may be a reality, and he may be overshooting the mark on that, so he can come out and say, next, at the end of the month that it's going to be May or June. It's impossible to predict what comes out of Washington, as we all know that. But Ford's been a dog, and who knows when we come out of this. Like I said, are people going to be rushing out to buy new cars, and it doesn't look like that. Let's see here. What do we got? 5 minutes to go, Spencer, and we are now under 2,400. Still 50 points, close to 50 points off the low. So we are now 45 points off that low, that early morning low of 2350. Spencer, is there some other stocks that you noticed that were going up?
Yeah, going back to the packaged food, SJM was up. We talked about Conagra, we talked about Campbell's. SJM's trading up
Yeah.
today. JM Smucker. I saw Kroger up. I mean, we talked about Costco. A lot of these
Okay.
this trade is on today. This
The
trade doesn't
trade
mean
is
it's
on
on.
today. Will it
Doesn't
be
mean it'll be
on
on tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Right.
Who knows? But you had a washout low near the $90 area. Let's see how low you got today. You got down to 91.88. And then I'm looking here at the monthlies. And who says technical analysis doesn't work? Back in December of 18, we hit 91.32. And then we hit 91.85 and then bottom in that same area, folks. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the next time it goes through that area, it's just going to go right back down through it. So nice pop today. People buying a lot of jam. I'm just going to give an area where you had a cluster of highs, and that seems to come in at like the 111 to 112 area. So 111 and a half, your current day's high, 110.45. So you certainly want to see it. And the way I like to look at stocks, the way I like to try to analyze things is the longer it takes to get above that level, the more of a chance of you getting some kind of rollover. So 4 minutes to go, 30 points off. What was Campbell's soup? It was one that you mentioned too.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
flat
like
on this
yep,
session.
Campbell soup, and then the Clorox Kimberly Clark combo also up today. I feel like we need to like name this trade. So we have like risk on and risk off days, right? Where growth stocks are hot or value stocks are hot. In this kind of in the coronavirus market that we're in right now, I feel like we need to name this trade where there are days where everything sells off, and there are days where when the packaged foods and Costco's and the Kimberly Clarks and Cloroxes of the world all trade up. It seems to be this is the second or third time I've noticed this sort of trend had this pattern is
How about how
they all trade
about
up together, but it's not every day.
the survival trade? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe the
I don't know.
survival trade, but it's not every day. But I've noticed that they do tend to trade together. In the past couple of weeks, it's happened on more than one occasion where the same stocks tend to catch bids on the same day, right? And this is one
Yep.
of those days. KMB, CLX. What else? What else is catching a bid today? Kroger. We talked about Newmont. Hormel, I think, is flat for the day. Walgreens Boots Alliance might be flatter up a little bit today. General Mills, right? All these like food stocks, these stodgy food stocks are all holding up
Hey,
relative to the
people
rest
are
of the
not going to be
market.
going out to restaurants, fancy restaurants. They're not going to be buying, filet mignons to cook, even though I do got a couple in the freezer there.
Yeah,
Um, I think that the shocker stock of the day for me has to be American Airlines here.
I see that, and I raise you Norwegian Cruise Lines, which
You mentioned that too.
is actually down 0.5% or a little more than that today, which is crazy.
Right. They went to Washington. They had their hand out. I don't know if it's going to get slapped or whatever. I'm not going to get political and say, hey, talking bailouts and this stuff is way, 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 way too early because we have we don't have a financial crisis. Or you may consider it one with the way some of the banks are acting today, but we have a health crisis, and that has to get solved first. Not the close the Bulls wanted to see here. We have lost a good 75 handles here in the S&Ps since we had that little run up to 2340. We have about a minute left of trading here. We're going to get a fury of activity here. We're going to stay on until 4 o'clock here. The actual mark for the S&P traders will be that 4:15 close. So that would I'll be basing my analysis on for tomorrow. And the stocks are closed here.
That's
The
that.
Dow down 3,000 points. Who knows how the final ticks are going to be here? Got awful close. The Dow got close to that 13%. The SPOOs haven't yet.
Here's the S&P 500. Here's the SPX. Down
Yeah.
what's that? 12%.
I'm looking at INX cash. Yep, 11.98%. We're not going to make my 28.56 close, folks, but let's change a hat and say, hey, let's close over 2,400. And overnight, obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on that 23.50 low, and going to have a wild day tomorrow, folks. Further down, the further downside, I see a December 2018 low. We all remember
That's
that.
that's the next big number. That's the only
Yep.
big number in this area is
That's right.
December 2018.
Yep. And we all remember that. So that's 20. This is basis the front month rolling contract. That would be 23.1950. You can always check the cash here. But folks, we just wanted to have a little bit different flavor here. Very difficult market, very difficult times for people. Hang in there, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning.
Yep, that's it. That's it for us, everyone. Have a good one.